I was really excited to do this one. This is one of the videos I thought maybe would be actually really helpful because it was very hard for me to track down a similar video on a Mustang for this. So I was like, okay, if someone's searching for a Cougar, this is going to be the one, because it just, for some reason, for me, being a novice, I thought this was really useful because I was finding it difficult. It actually wasn't difficult. The problem is my plug was so corroded and so destroyed that common sense didn't dictate what I thought it should. So it's actually a very simple procedure. If yours is this bad, you may have the same problem. Mine is completely fused with the base. I couldn't get it off. It was impossible, especially with the fender on. There was no way this was coming off. Unfortunately, and fortunately, I was taking the fender off, but the only way for this to come off and be replaced was to take the fender off. So I'm glad I'm doing that and wasn't deciding to go crazy and go Hulk smash on something. So the only way I took this off was I had to go underneath, and this is like a real, well, I don't know, it's probably ancient, but I had to break the bracket. That was the only way without me causing damage to the fender, which I'd rather pay for this than repair the fender. So I think that was a cost-efficient move. But how do you take this off? That is a good question. I'm glad you asked. Should be simple. Here you should be super simple. If you don't tighten it down, it's not corroded. If you see here, there's these little grooved edges around the top bezel. Let me see them back up a little bit. There you go, it's a little better. These little grooved edges. Mine's so mauled. I do apologize. See if I can find a better edge. Right, there's another one. There's 4. They go all the way around. There's grooved edges, and so this is the upper bezel. This is the bottom bezel, and it's sitting there. This top bezel is just screwed down to kind of tighten this together and pull it up a little bit against underneath. So underneath, this is all hidden. That's the fender, and this is what's underneath the fender. What you actually should be able to do is take a open box end wrench. You know, maybe you want to put some electrical tape on it so you don't mess up your chrome. Whatever works for you, put it on something, fabric, whatever works for you. And just turn this. It shouldn't be so tight you need a pair of pliers. And mine was like, what is going on here? This should come off. Now, hold on to the top as you're doing this, because this is what's holding it from falling into the fender, okay? So you're gonna put, as I'm looking around my hand, I'm sorry. You're just going to unscrew this, hold on to this, at the same time, take this off. This bottom part, right here, you should be able to take off, or not, depends on the model. After you do that, this bracket on the bottom is not holding it from falling down. Just remember that. This bracket is actually to stop it from coming up. So as you're tightening down this top bezel, it's just cinching down on this so it sits at home. So what some people do is they tie string and hold on here, or just somehow, some way, because you're going to have to dip the entire unit down, because this has a little notch right here to match with this notch, and it sits like that. It sits right in there like that. Mine's broken, so I can't put it back on anymore. So what happens is you're going to have to remove and get to this bracket. What is that? That's my antenna. And to get to this bracket, you're going to have to dip it below the car, lift this up and pull it through the hole, and then you can pull out the entire antenna. That's the intended purpose of how this is supposed to work. Not my case. This is still going, the other end is still going through the wall, the hole in the frame to go through the radio. So if you're going to reuse this or something like that and pull it out, and you don't want to have to worry about putting it through the hole or taking out your fender. Let's say you're not taking your fender out. That's the thing. You're not taking your fender out, and you just want to replace your antenna. Before you remove this through the hole, you're going to want to tie a piece of string, or a coat hanger helps real well because you can bend it and get it right where it is. Tie it through here. So as you pull this out through the fender's hole, you have that string or that wire, and then you can tie the new end to that wire and pull it right back through into the hole, and that's how you're going to feed this through to replace it if you're not removing your fender. To replace your antenna in place, just like before. First thing you're going to do is you're going to put this into the hole. You're going to put your bracket on. You're going to pull it up, hold on to it with whatever means you're doing it. Put your bezels on, tighten down. It should be that simple. It should be like 5 seconds. It just took me like literally 40 minutes and a lot of bad words. I'm glad my daughter's asleep. I love you, Karen. So if there's any questions you have, I hope this answered them. I am obviously getting a brand new replacement for West Coast Classic Cougars, and I can't talk enough about how wonderful an organization they are, highly recommend you use them or give them a shot, or at least call them. They're going to give you deals and have things that they don't even have listed on their website. Hope this helped at least one person, because I was about to go ham. Thanks. Bye.